Why do 20 million a year e-commerce brands still feel like they're running three separate companies that have never met each other? And if you're running an e-commerce business between 5 million and 30 million, you probably know this feeling.
The brands that get this right now don't just grow, they leap from 5 to 15, from 15 to 30 million, while their competitors just stay stuck trying to optimize each individual piece.
You can craft great products, but if your ads generate traffic and you see a great ROAS, literally no money left after they spend and all the expenses.
This show exists because there's no other place teaching this complete methodology. Everyone else is just teaching pieces. We're going to teach the system. So stop looking for the next marketing tactic or operations hack, because you need to start thinking about the complete precision commerce.
Yeah, so the concept that we're thinking about is giving a monthly or maybe a bi-weekly dose of what we're calling precision commerce, because the unique perspectives that we bring into the industry are usually talked about as separate topics. And so like, even though the agency that Igor's been running for decades, he is now really focused on AI personalization, and Dennis is like honing in on his own niche of making sure that ads are profitable. And then my agency has also evolved over the years to where it's more focused into brand-led operations and really optimizing that experience of the client or the customer from the first time they get on the website all the way until they get the product. Or if you're selling a service of some type, all of that needs to be architected in a beautiful brand-led way. And so instead of thinking those as all separate components, by integrating them all, that's what we're calling precision commerce.
Absolutely. So as Micah said, it's all about strategy. Having the brand positioning, having the flow of the customers, you're landing to the website. A couple of years ago, I focused my agency on AI and utilizing AI tools and your own customer data to personalize the experience of your buyer from landing on the website to the post-checkout purchase process. But not just to personalize it, but to have a feeling like you're shopping in your local boutique, to that level that the website knows you the same way as the seller in the local boutique knows you, understand you. How to achieve that? By strategizing the data points that are being given to the AI. To feel that the customer is known, that you know the customer personally. Based on the data that you have from previous purchases, previous orders, behavior on the website, AI can help you that we humans cannot. AI can recognize patterns, understand the buyer behavior, and based on that, create number one, personalized messaging, do product recommendation, personalized email marketing, SMS messages, all of it in the same manner and the same level of intimacy you have with your own seller in the local store.
So I guess my next question would be like, how would you balance the level of personalization with like, oh, this is creepy? I mean, obviously we're collecting data, and I mean, I know the benefits, but like, where do we find that like middle line?
As long as you don't sound creepy in a way that you're not using data that the customer not willingly gave you, like first name, last name. As long as you don't use data like, hey, I know you have a dog, let me offer you a dog collar, that's fine. So as long as it's not creepy and it's properly utilized based on the data that's being provided by the customer, and the customer is being notified that we use AI for communication and personalization, that's fine.
So as long as we're not like, okay, we know that you're a C cup and here's a bra that will fit you. Unless they volunteer that information, we don't want to like present that to them. Okay, that
Absolutely.
makes sense.
Specifically, this goes to chatbots. Chatbots these days are much smarter than any customer support rep ever was. They know all your previous orders, and the moment you ask question about anything, they can not just know what you're looking for, but they understand your interest in your previous orders. Based on those previous orders, they can give you suggestions. They can personalize the whole communication in a way that understand your need. For example, if you ask the chatbot, hey, my wife is gonna go to have a dinner with their friends. She likes black dresses. AI bot will understand the need and show you black dresses based on the interest or the recommendations that the AI can pull out from the database. Again, this is not just like plug and play. Human interaction and training is needed. What's good response, what's not good response. But all e-commerce brands do have their own data by now. So the previous data is being used. So it's much more humanized, but also much more intelligent and faster than any human can be.
That reminds me of the Nordstrom experience, like what Nordstrom got really known for. Like, you're not going to go to Nordstrom to get a good price. You're going there because there's someone playing a piano. You're there because some like personalized consultant is going to be able to answer the question that you just asked. But in this case, like, that's the type of stuff that you can set your store apart from Amazon, correct? So like, that's how you compete, because they can get those personalized premium experiences. And then obviously what we need to then look for after that is, how does that continue on? Like, if they're having that front end great experience, how do you carry that on to the actual checkout process and actually getting the product? Is that a consistent experience all the way through? And then, like on Dennis's side, before they even get to the site, making sure that that is also aligned in driving them there to have that experience in the first place. I mean, if they'd never get there, then what's the point? And so like, that's where that third pillar comes in, to make sure that we're having that precision commerce. Dennis can come in and drive them to the site to then have that experience.
And not only just drive them to the site to have that experience, you might agree with me on that one, is what one of the most important parts here is that we don't just get a lot of the traffic on the website, right? But we get the high quality traffic, right? The volume of high quality traffic. And we do that not by focusing on volatile KPIs, which is unfortunately the landscape right now for a lot of brands, not only e-commerce actually, is that the focus goes on metrics such as ROAS and CPC and click-through rate and all that stuff that doesn't even tell exactly what ad is driving the best experience for the user on the platform, and how whether that's connected with the experience on the website. And by basically focusing on the volatile KPIs, vanity metrics, if you will, that makes it harder for brands to not just scale, but actually do it profitably, right? Because in the end, you can craft great products, but if your ads generate traffic and you see a great ROAS, but you have no money, literally no money left after the spend and all of the expenses and the COGS and whatnot, well, then it's not a business. It's like you're literally like maintaining something, and it's only a question of time before you're out of business, because you will either run out of cash or you will have no money to spend on ads. So yeah, basically, it's very important not just to focus on the traffic to the website, but the quality of the traffic. The way we can focus on the quality of the traffic is by focusing on the KPIs that actually tells us whether we are actually showing our ads to the right people in the first place, right? And
Right,
doing that at
right.
scale, and doing that at scale is obviously it comes down to the creatives, the AI. Well, Meta is also introducing a lot of AI right now and automating the whole platform.
You're basically saying turn the new customer into a new returning customer, right? Create the ads that with the quality traffic that's going to transform a new customer into a returning customer. And that goes directly with personalization and AI. I would not say personalization, but more like understanding the customer, not just the need or the product that the customer purchased, but why the customer purchased this product. And in addition to the product, AI can offer another product, advices how to use the product. And by that, increase the trust between the brand, the company that the customer purchased the product, and the customer itself.
I mean, the real advantage here is because obviously Igor is the intelligence architect, Dennis is the growth engine architect, and then I'm kind of the glue that holds that experience together. So that's what my role would be: experience architect, brand led operations. And so like that fundamental thread that aligns all of us, that's the part that's going to hopefully set this podcast in a unique space, because people who are looking for conversion rate optimization, how to run ads and all that stuff is usually a separate type of audience than someone who wants to learn about operations and optimizations and things like that. And then someone that's really into the AI personalization is usually a separate sector. But where are the people going to go when they don't want to deep dive into the nitty gritty details and look at spreadsheets and look at those types of metrics, or they don't want to learn how to make custom automations and that type of personalization? So we're going to be able to take this high level view and give strategies for actual e-commerce owners as opposed to just other agencies. So like that's, I'm hoping, and what I think you guys are, we can isolate that specific niche and provide some massive value, because like that explosive growth is what we've noticed is when all three of these work together, because you'll run into people that are like, we're a lead gen company or we are an ads company, but then that's it. That's all they handle. So like Dennis by himself is awesome, but if he's just driving it to a website that's not going to actually deliver a personalized experience, then it's not going to convert anyways, and it's a massive failure. Where then on the backside, if the delivery doesn't match the other experience, then it all falls flat either way, and then your LTV is bad because no one's going to return and have that experience again. So like it all has to work together as if it was like a beautiful symphony. Someone has to be orchestrating it. So
From
that's
the first
the
click,
idea.
the landing page to the post-purchase process. All
Yeah,
three points.
it can't be isolated. So our original idea is to talk to e-commerce brands. Who do you think would be like the ideal e-commerce business size? How long they've been around? Like what are the types of people that you think would be most interested in listening to future episodes, and why?
So I would say in order to use, in my niche, to use AI, anybody can use AI, starting from 1 mil or half a mil to up to 20, 30 millions, even more. There's no limit in terms of what type of business or revenue per year is required to actually utilize personalization. It applies to all type of businesses, e-commerce startups to old OGs that are on the market for decades. In terms of AI, everybody needs to understand AI is not to be afraid of. Again, you don't need to jump in and treat it as a plugin, but again, understand that AI, that's an intelligent technology that if utilized strategically can only benefit your bottom line.
And what happens if they don't do it?
Okay, so if they don't use AI and don't use automation, personalization, just the competitor is going to outrun them in a matter of months. Maybe not months, but a year or so. Things AI is advancing so fast, and whoever adopts it, the earlier understand the concept of using AI in personalizing the customer experience, personalizing the UX, the UE, the whole post-purchase process, is going to, number one, cut the cost on customer support, cut the cost on issues and phone calls and so on and so forth. And not only that, it's going to increase the customer experience level by 10x. And by that, it's going to create returning customers that by that, as Dennis said, no more money needed for, or it's going to lower the budget for getting new customers.
Even something simple, what you mentioned earlier about like the chatbots being so smart. I'm actually to the point now where if I go on a website and they have like the little chat icon, like I click it because I'll have a question, but if it's going to put me to a live agent, I usually don't talk to them. But if there's an AI agent, I would prefer that now, because like for one, I can talk bluntly and not have my time wasted with all the, the scripted pleasantries and bullshit that they end up telling me. But like I can just get the answer. And I get to know exactly where I am. This is assuming they're trained properly and have the
Assuming
proper
they're
knowledge base.
and if the question is too complicated, usually chatbots have like a function just to switch the conversation to a human. However, AI doesn't really go just to chatbots. That's just the starting point.
Right.
What people don't use right now, and you ask me what if they don't use. Let me give you an example in email marketing. Pretty much everybody on Shopify, BigCommerce, and Magento utilize either MailChimp, Klaviyo, AmiSmart, or whatsoever. So all of those tools do have AI integrated within them. I can guarantee you very small amount of e-commerce business owners actually utilize the AI features of those tools properly. One of the main reasons that this needs to be done as fast as possible for not just personalizing the emails and the messages, the subject lines, but creates much better segments, much more targeted segments. For example, segments in Klaviyo and email campaigns were done for decades, correct? However, now imagine being done much smarter. Instead of everybody that ordered less than $500 were females over 35, now you do everybody that ordered eco-friendly products. So to those people, you send them a personalized, customized message, customized email, offering them products on sale that are eco-friendly. Or you decide that you can actually segment even deeper whoever did not purchase in the past XYZ days, and it's not that's the point one, but also this person didn't come to the website, or that means it's about to churn. So AI can see those patterns and create those segments for you much faster and much more smarter than a human can. I mean, human can, but that I'm talking whole team of email marketers doing this all day long, segmenting, analyzing the data, and so on and so forth. So by this, much faster and more automatically, it will create campaigns, even suggest campaigns, so you can send out promotions, give them discounts, and so on and so forth. By our case studies, churn rate reduced by 60% usually.
And obviously there's like a huge upfront cost, but over time it actually ends up reducing labor costs, because like you said, to be able to do that type of labor is expensive if it's an actual person. So like there's upfront costs, but it's worth it because it's automated and the data is a lot more useful, actionable.
Correct.
And so like I know the temptation for a lot of people is like, well, I'll implement that next year or next quarter or something like that, but like things are moving so fast just in the AI space. Like even for me and my agency, like I didn't touch ChatGPT even for probably until a year and a half ago. And like now I can't even imagine, like I was limping along. I didn't realize how much faster your life can be. So like now I use Manus and Claude and ChatGPT and Gemini and like all of this stuff, and it just snowballs and it can be super overwhelming. So like I understand the temptation for people to be like, well, I'll do that later. But like you said earlier, for every week or month that they put it off, they're just losing ground because someone out there, your competition is actually implementing it. So
Killing.
Yeah, killing. As far as ongoing topics and things like that, I mean, I guess we don't know exactly what they're going to be, but like this is definitely the direction that we're heading in, trying to talk about e-commerce and trying to get it across to everyone, like the types of tactical decisions that you need to make now sooner than later, because your competition is implementing these things. And hopefully we'll be able to introduce concepts that are kind of on the cutting edge of what your competition is actually doing, so you can start implementing them, maybe not all at once, but like you at least need to have like your eye on the prize. Like you need to at least have your ears to the ground to know what's coming and what people are doing at a high level, so you can start implementing it in your own e-commerce.
Correct. We're going to discuss utilizing AI and personalization with AI on many pillars. For example, email marketing, loyalty reward programs, chatbots, as you mentioned, Micah, SMS marketing, and so on and so forth. Every single aspect of e-commerce can be optimized and personalized using AI and AI tools. A lot to talk about.
And then my paranoia of thinking from the user perspective, my paranoia is always, is it going to feel real? And so like that's the perspective I'll keep driving in, is like we have to keep scaling people up using optimization, but how do we still make it feel real and like it doesn't lose the soul of the brand? And so like constantly having that North Star, I think, is important and going to be a unique perspective. And that also branches over to Dennis too, in what he's offering clients as well. Like we have to make sure that the e-commerce brands are delivering and not being consumed by the Amazons out there. Like you do have unique advantages to owning your own e-commerce business, as long as you're leveraging it right. Like you can't just set up a Shopify store and run it like you did 10 years ago. Like to really stand out, you have to do it completely different. How can you do it different without losing the soul of why you started in the first place and give that boutique experience that people are going to pay extra for?
Absolutely.
The brands that get this right now don't just grow, they leap from 5 to 15, from 15 to 30, while their competitors stay stuck trying to optimize individual pieces.
So our idea behind this is for you to stop looking for marketing tactics on those types of podcasts, or ad tactics on those types of podcasts, or some operations hack. We're trying to marry all of them and start thinking about the complete precision commerce, how it's the whole package. So our idea is to present this in a way where it's the only methodology that's integrating the client and customer intelligence, the experience architecture, and the profitable acquisition into one scalable system.
In every episode of Stack to Scale, give you some snippets and give you some actionable insights you can implement, and show you exactly how you can implement those, like basically all three pillars into your business. And well, subscribe where you get podcasts, and visit stackforscale.com to join the only community focused on this, how should we call it, complete precision commerce, if you will.
Welcome to Stack for Scale.